Let me take you on an epic journey, and I mean that in all seriousness. We're going to walk through every single EPIC program that Caroline Venn has released, and the changes that you are going to see aren't probably what you're expecting, but they are changes, and they are good changes. Let's dive in. Hi there, Friendos! Welcome back to my channel. Watch this, the audio is gonna cut out. And that's why I'm here. Different Trisha. A week later, Trisha. Slightly wiser Trisha. If you're new to my channel, hi, welcome. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. If you are new to my little corner of the internet, I call myself the Eclectic Geek. I am very nerdy. I like to post workout reviews, to analyze workouts. I also like to read through true crime cases and analyze them and share them with you all. And I've put it to a workout as well. It's very eclectic, so that's why I call myself the Eclectic Geek. The whole of the EPIC programs, because I just completed, well actually 2 weeks ago now, completed the EPIC ENDGAME program from Caroline Venn. And if you do not know who Caroline Venn is, then I encourage you to go check her out. She's amazing, very lovely individual, a force to be reckoned with. She exudes positivity. I feel very close to Caroline, and she started posting videos at a time right at the very beginning of the whole COVID quarantine and lockdown. And she's exactly what I needed, a staple in my day, something that I looked forward to, and it really gave me that sense of routine. And I am a routine person. I call myself a process girl. So I'm just gonna break it up into segments. I have Venn diagrams for you. We're gonna look at EPIC 1 versus EPIC 2. And here we have the Venn diagram. So we're comparing EPIC 1 versus EPIC 2 here. And in EPIC 1, it's really a focus on the fundamentals. And if you are brand spanking new to working out and resistance training in general, then I highly recommend that you test out the EPIC Beginner program, which is in the top right-hand corner. And that also gives you the foundation to utilize and to lean upon when you jump into EPIC 1. So for EPIC 1, as I mentioned, you're focusing on the fundamentals. You don't even use dumbbells until about week 2. In EPIC 2, you're utilizing those fundamentals and you're building upon that. You're automatically jumping into it. You utilize dumbbells right away from the very beginning of the week. HIIT begins your week in EPIC 2. HIIT ends your week in EPIC 1. And those are two main differences between the two. Here are some clips of me doing the workouts from EPIC 1 and EPIC 2. You can see that this is when, well, EPIC 1 is, I was not focused on filming, but EPIC 2 is a focused on filming portion of my life, and that is a review that I shared. The EPIC program was very fundamental for me in the overarching concept of things. It was a great way to build confidence. It was a great way for me to focus my energies and to allow myself to build strength as well. In the EPIC programs as a whole, there is a focus on different types of exercises and different types of workout regimens. So what I mean by that is you're not just doing HIIT every single time. You're doing circuit training, you are doing pyramids, you are also doing unilateral training within those circuit training workouts, and Each of your exercises are going to focus on 3 different planes of motion. There is the transverse, there is the frontal, and there is the sagittal plane. Your transverse plane is your abdomen, so twisting motion. Your frontal is moving front to back, and your sagittal is up and down. So you can see right here, I'm doing push-ups. This is a combination of the frontal and the sagittal plane. If I were to twist my hips, then I would be incorporating the transverse plane. So those are exercises that Caroline does a great job of incorporating throughout every single modicum of the EPIC programs. And this is something that I started to focus heavily on in the workouts. She does include a cool down with every single workout, and this is across the board as well, not just in EPIC 1 and EPIC 2, but in the entirety of the EPIC programs. There is a warm-up involved, but it's a separate video, and you have to watch that video separately. It's not incorporated with every single workout. As I'd mentioned, HIIT ends the week in EPIC 1, and you can see that there are 5 different workouts in the program throughout the entirety of the program. And then the same thing happens in EPIC 2, but HIIT begins your week. And then again, there are 5 different workouts and 2 separate rest days, 1 active rest day and 1 rest day. In EPIC 1, there is talk of nutrition. She does give food swaps. She also gives food swaps in EPIC 2 as well. That was somewhat problematic for me as a person who's had problems with eating in the past. It screams that we're labeling food and demonizing food as bad versus good, when all food is just food and everything needs to be enjoyed in moderation. Then she released EPIC HEAT, and that was in the summer of 2021. In EPIC HEAT, she encouraged you to work out for 30 minutes total, and then also encouraged you to spend a bit of time outside. And by a bit of time, I mean at least a half an hour, walking your dog, going for a run, something like that. And this is the program for EPIC HEAT. One of the main themes of EPIC HEAT, as I'd mentioned just a moment ago, is the focus on complementary cardio. And that is something that I had never really considered as part of a workout program, but it is very important. The EPIC HEAT program relies heavily on a full 30 minutes of hard work from start to finish, so you have to get your mind right. The similarity between EPIC HEAT and EPIC 1 is that HIIT ends the week in both programs. The similarities between EPIC HEAT and EPIC 2 is that you're utilizing your dumbbells right away, right from the very beginning. What makes EPIC HEAT different is that the intensity is just increased to a heightened degree. But the focus overall is the same, which is in the top left-hand corner, is to appreciate your body, appreciate the work that you're doing. Here is the schedule that we have. It also is very similar to what we did with EPIC 1 in that there are 5 workouts. Here you can see I'm taking my pit bull Eleanor for a nice little doggo walk on some complementary cardio. As I mentioned before, the main focus in EPIC HEAT is the 30 minutes of condensed working out, and that is very important. We are working out for 30 minutes, and it is an intense 30 minutes. So she's upping the ante a little bit here because you're not taking a full hour to work out. So in an hour workout, I don't know about you, but for me, I take my time to get into it. My brain's kind of like, oh, it'll be okay, and then maybe by minute 15 or 16, I'm really into it, and I'm really gung-ho into the workout and making sure that my body is really into it. But you can't do that in EPIC HEAT. You have to be very focused, very driven right from the start to the finish, because it's a half an hour and it has to be effective. This is when she started incorporating more of nutritional tips, and also brought in a registered dietitian to provide insight and recipes for everyone to follow, which is wonderful. She took out food swaps. Those are no longer there. They were in the EPIC 1 and EPIC 2. That isn't there in EPIC HEAT. So making sure that we don't start labeling, people feel guilty or looking at a food and thinking, oh, this is guilt-free. You shouldn't have guilt when it comes to satiating your body or fueling your body or eating something that's tasty. There's nothing wrong with that. EPIC 3. And EPIC 3 is when I was in my first trimester of my pregnancy. I'm growing another human. That brought on a whole new host of challenges for me, a whole host of hormones that you are dealing with. HCG, human chorionic gonadotropin hormone, and that's the hormone that's only made during pregnancy. It's made almost exclusively in the placenta. HCG levels that are found in the mother's blood and urine rise quite a bit in the first trimester, and they are responsible for things like morning sickness, vomiting, and nausea, mood swings, all that fun stuff. Human placental lactogen, HPL, that hormone is also known as human chorionic somatotropin. It's a very big word. I'll put it in the bottom right here. Somatotropin, right here. You tell me how to say it if you're a scientist. I'm not a scientist. Okay? Okay. It's made by the placenta, gives nutrition to the fetus, and it also stimulates, milk. Then there's more estrogen. So hooray, more estrogen. That also helps with the mood swings. In fact, causes it. Progesterone, which it's made by the ovaries, and it stimulates the thickening of the uterine lining and implantation of the fertilized egg. Yes. And progesterone is muscle relaxant, and it allows you to essentially be a little bit more flexible. And it also means that your balance may be off because your muscles are not as tight. Here you go.
Does that face instill confidence or excitement? Not really. This is the conversation about challenges because of pregnancy. There's the constant need to pee, there's heartburn, indigestion, extreme exhaustion. My clothes felt tighter. I was just so full of blood pumping through my body because that is a thing. There's a lack of balance. And then, of course, the mood swings. I just wanted to be so real and raw with you here and show you that.
Seems silly to record at moments like this, but I honestly think it's healthy that I do, to remind myself of why I work out. And so I'm gonna cry and work out. Body changes.
Okay, I know that's a lot to take in, that's a lot to process, and I do spend a lot of time talking about the difficulties with pregnancies, but it's just very important that you grasp how difficult it was because it really was a challenge. Anywho, here's the new Venn-ish type of diagram with EPIC 3, and the main focus in EPIC 3 is that we are now spending a lot of time on repetition. You are doing an exercise to the fullest degree, and you're doing different variations of that exercise to the fullest degree. So if you're doing a lunge, you're doing a weighted lunge, elevated lunge, and so on and so forth. Here is the EPIC 3 program. And this program, the overview is very much the same as that. You're working with 5 workouts. You're going to be focusing on building a strong body and improving your overall level of fitness and making sure that you feel epic, as she highlights here in the overview. In the EPIC 3 program, there is a focus on nutrition, not diet. We also see Jillian Killiner here, as well as the community dietitian. She provides some great recipes for you as the participant to lean on and utilize in your journey, which is great. I really enjoy that she included that. In the EPIC 3, you're ending on a hit. But as I mentioned, you are also focusing on 5 different workouts, 2 different rest days. And in your EPIC 3 program, you are
leaning on body weight as well as also focusing on, as is highlighted here, repetition. So that is the main goal, is really getting your mind into that exercise. Repetition became very important and also challenging for me. I'd get winded easily.
I mean, all of a sudden I'm like, whew. I did have to learn how to incorporate more modifications. EPIC ENDGAME was also a challenge, and I'll be very honest, I did not want to film many of the times that I worked out just because I felt so big. I was not used to my body. I wasn't enjoying pregnancy, and everyone was telling me that I should enjoy pregnancy, and it was just a whole roller coaster.
Roller coaster is putting it lightly, and if you're pregnant or have been pregnant, then you know exactly what I mean. But here we have the EPIC ENDGAME overview, and again, we're focusing on 5 workouts. We're making sure that we are building strength. We also have a focus on nutrition and general nutrition, making sure to incorporate good protein, good carbohydrates, thinking nutrition and not a diet, which is a overarching theme. Again, we also have Jillian Killiner here, which is also awesome. I love seeing her and the recommendations that she has. We've got nutritional tips as well as recipes from her. In the workout program itself, you are doing your 5 workouts. You have 2 rest days, an active rest day and a rest day.
The main difference between EPIC ENDGAME and all of the other EPIC programs is that the last 10% of an EPIC ENDGAME workout, you are doing 100 reps for the last 10% of the workout. This is something that's a little bit controversial, mostly because if you're aiming for hypertrophy, the recommended amount of increased frequency for an exercise is doing between 30 and 60 reps of an exercise. Doing 100 is a little bit, why are we doing this now? There is a benefit of caloric expenditure. Mostly it just makes you tired.
So let's see how EPIC ENDGAME stacks up against all of the other EPIC programs. With EPIC ENDGAME, we are doing workouts that range from 30 to 40 minutes. So in that sense, it aligns with EPIC 3. And we're also making sure to build upon fundamentals and diving in, utilizing dumbbells and strength training, which aligns it with EPIC 2.
And then we're also ensuring that we are focusing on condensed intensity as well as complementary cardio. Here you can see Caroline is doing the low sumo squats with resistance. This is something that I incorporated as well. I did have to modify a little bit.
A little over 28 weeks pregnant. I do have to put something else on the TV to distract myself from working out, because I have noticed that while pregnant, working out is a mental block. Or I have a mental block to working out while I'm pregnant. I'm just not as motivated, but if there's something distracting me from the workout, that's cool. And as much as I love Caroline,
how on earth did I maintain motivation during this program and dealing with pregnancy as well? Because it was a mental block, I'll be honest with you. I focused on what my goals weren't, and that was never to lose weight, ever. It was also not to gain muscle. I just wanted to make sure that I utilized this as a focus for a routine. I made sure that as long as I was moving my body, that was a reason to stay motivated and to keep with it, to make sure that I was feeling good and great. So my goals became more about moving my body and making sure that my baby is happy and healthy. It became more about listening to my body. If a workout or an exercise was not functioning for me, I wasn't going to do it, and I was going to do the modifications. I wanted to maintain strength, but I'll be honest, with things like diastasis recti and with other things like sciatica and increased blood flow, as well as loss of balance and the increase of hormones, sometimes that was very, very difficult. I basically wanted to feel awesome. I wanted to build confidence. I wanted to feel queenly, because I am a queen and you are too. So those were my goals throughout this. Weight gain did happen because that's just natural in pregnancy. You're gaining weight from how much blood is flowing through your body, from your baby, from how much your uterus actually weighs. I know, newsflash, it does weigh something and it does gain weight as you grow your baby. So that became a focus as well. I did not look at the scale for this purpose. I looked at the scale to understand and make sure that I was gaining weight properly for my baby. Here you can see that I'm getting in some complementary cardio with my doggos and my husband. This was great for my mental health. It really did help me focus. I look exhausted there, but that's just because I was exhausted. This is me doing my modifications. I was 32 weeks pregnant. There's no way I am doing a jump up and jump down on my belly at this point for this burpee. No.
And done. Okay. I am tired. That was awesome. I'm very tired. And I have to pee.
Hello and good morning. Okay, so breakfast. This is what I'd like to eat for breakfast. At some points, I'd have eggs and toast as well. These are the protein waffles from Kodiak Cakes. When you're pregnant, you do have to minimize the amount of caffeine that you intake. And here I'm measuring out 12 ounces. You can feel the effects of caffeine way more when you're pregnant than when you're not. So I liked to keep it to a minimum. And we have lunch. Yummy. And there you have it. That's my lunch. I'm probably gonna have a snack. I did have a banana after breakfast today. My breakfast today was a big bowl of oatmeal with blueberries and strawberries. It was delicious. Highly recommend that. Oatmeal is severely underrated. I know that there are so many people out there, so many influencers who are like, yeah, do oatmeal, and they like have like these much. I'm not like that. Your girl, me, that's me. I like a lot of oatmeal, and I think there's nothing wrong with that. Hi.
Cool, I finally know who that is.
Oh, you didn't know who Timothée Chalamet was?
Yeah, it wasn't until I saw like the preview for Dune, the cinematography movie. I was like, oh, that's who everyone loves.
Oh. Ooh, yummy. Maybe I can take a video of me taking a bite. That's really good. I did not forego any snacks during this whole entirety of my experience with the EPIC program. So for a snack, I'd have peanut butter and toast, or almonds, or avocado and toast, or yogurt and berries, trying to pair protein with a carb so that it would be sustainable energy and also help fuel my body to help me grow my baby in a healthy way. I was a little bit obsessed with avocado, not gonna lie. I feel like that's why I'm focusing so long on this, but trying to make sure that I balance out the foods that I'm eating with the meals that I'm eating as well. And if there were days that I was feeling unwell, then I just make sure to focus a little bit more on smaller meals. Here I show you the vitamins. I made sure to really increase the amount of fruits and vegetables and healthy fats in my diet. So
I like to make sure that I had lots of tomatoes, lots of avocados, and making sure that I also utilized my Care of subscription. Not a sponsor at all, but I was a little obsessed with them. Okay, let's talk about progress. At the beginning of the entirety of the pandemic, I was focused on being little and being skinny. In 2020, I realized that I had a massive mental block and an unhealthy relationship with working out. I worked out way too much and only ever did cardio. Here is me working out at the beginning of the pandemic and utilizing weights for probably one of the very first times ever. And it was a new type of workout for me, and it made me feel good. I enjoyed it. But it was a step in the direction that I began to take. This is me working out at the kickboxing gym and then also at home, just very much focused on being skinny and being little. And then came 2021. You can tell that my mind shift had changed a little bit. If you can't, then let me tell you, my mind shift changed. I started focusing on building strength and being strong. Not about being little, but also making sure that I felt confident and felt good about my body. So these were the results after the EPIC 2 program. And this is me working out in the EPIC Heat program. I felt strong, I felt empowered. I could see that I was able to do things I couldn't have done before, like this right here. This push-up burpee, and then carrying 20-pound dumbbells into a swing and back down again, and then doing a push-up. Could not have done that before. Also note that my confidence is just through the roof. I am showing off my body because I am working hard on it. I'm fueling my body, and I'm excited with the progress. I am strong, I am muscular, and I am feeling just overtly confident throughout the entirety of that. Look at my smile. Isn't that infectious? I mean, I'm smiling right now just looking at myself with how happy I am with the workouts that I'm doing. The resistance training was doing wonders for my mental health. I will not lie. And then we get into our baby.
Oh, he's so cute. Little nugget. Little heartbeat.
And here we are at the very beginning of EPIC 3. I am about 5 weeks pregnant here, a little bit over, and you can tell that I have a growing baby. Well, maybe you can't, but I can. Where there were abs, we can see that my little squish is taking over, and I couldn't be more excited. It is something that I had to deal with mentally, and here I am at 15 weeks pregnant at the end of EPIC 3. And then at the end of EPIC 3, you can tell that I am confident, I'm exuding just radiance, but also it's because the struggle was real. I didn't come to have that smile without lots of hard work. So I just wanted to point that out. There were lots of mornings and lots of days that I did not want to work out, but I did. And now we're in 2022 with EPIC ENDGAME. Here you can see that I have made lots of progress. You can see my baby bump is very prominent, but my progress here is such that I'm still doing the workout. I'm still getting the work done, and I look happy. I am happy. I am confident, and I am making sure to move for my body, and that is progress for me. You may not see that as progress because weight loss wasn't the goal here. Muscle mass wasn't the goal here, but for me, this was progress. Building in that routine and maintaining that confidence and maintaining that inner strength, as well as making sure that I was being happy and healthy for not only myself, but for the little nugget that I'm growing as well. So that was a main source of progress for me. It was something that helped me feel confident. It was something that made me feel good. It also motivated me to continue the workout because I'll be honest, it was a struggle. I've made mention of that multiple times. It was not
the easiest thing to do. In fact, pregnancy, I would say, is the hardest thing I've ever done. But look at me here, just showing off my baby bump. You can see that he's growing nice and big. Look, I still have muscle definition in my arms from doing the EPIC ENDGAME and EPIC 3 programs. You can see that my glutes are still strong. I have still my back muscles. I don't know what sentence that is, but you understand my meaning. And I'm confident. Look at my little sexy dance. Look at me go. I'm excited. I'm happy. That's what it's all about. Let's talk about overarching themes.
Overarching theme number 1 is you versus you. You are the one in charge of your workout. Caroline just supplies you with the tools. You do with that what you will. You do not have to do a workout when she does a workout. You do not have to do a rest when she does a rest in the workout. It is you versus you. And that is something that I took to heart, especially during the beginning in trimester 1, is that if it was challenging for me, then I needed to keep doing it and making sure that I was still being safe. But Caroline would be crazy doing chest to floor burpees. I couldn't do that because that would not be safe for me in my pregnancy. So I would be making sure to do the modification or the low impact. Mindset was also an overarching theme, making sure that your mind was right throughout this. We're building confidence and we're thinking about building strength rather than losing weight. So that's a big overarching theme that I really leaned on as well, because if you decide to become pregnant, if that is in your path, you will see that if before your pregnancy weight was a concern and other people were always asking you about your weight, it will definitely be something on the forefront of your brain during your pregnancy. It was for me. It was everywhere. Everyone was worried about gaining too much weight, about losing the weight after giving birth to the baby, all that kind of stuff. But in Caroline's program, when we just got down to brass tacks and just building confidence and making sure to build strength over losing weight, that is what kept me sane. Lifestyle and creating an active lifestyle. So treating your body kind of like a temple. And let me tell you that pregnancy really brought that home for me, because it's not just me and this body now. It is me and my little nugget and this body. So I have to not only be healthy for me, I have to be healthy for my baby. And that is something that is very important to keep in mind. How can you forget when you're pregnant, right? Like he's right there. Is nutrition over diet. Diet has been mutilated by this culture. Diet culture is terrible. If you have listened or watched any of my prior videos, you would know that I abhor it. It is not conducive to a positive mindset or allows you to think positively of yourself. Diet never started out as a way to torture your body to lose weight. Diet really does mean brass tacks, a way of living, and that's what it should be. So in the EPIC programs, we are encouraged to think about nutrition, about feeding your body with healthy foods and making sure to incorporate moderation and balance and giving yourself grace when it comes to food. And that's balance and grace. Everything has to be in moderation. You're human. You're not going to be perfect all the time, and there is no such thing as perfect. At least in my mindset, there's no such thing as perfect. So you're working with what you have and you're doing the best you can. And that is awesome. It's not just okay, it's awesome. So I was very lucky in the sense that I was able to work out. My OB said that because I'd been doing resistance training up until my pregnancy, it was totally fine to continue to do resistance training during my pregnancy. If you hadn't been doing resistance training before your pregnancy, it makes zero sense to start doing it now. So I would say that if you are pregnant and just starting the EPIC programs, cut the weights out. And make sure to talk to your OB. I am not a doctor. I am not an OB at all. So make sure to clear that with your your OB, for sure, okay? I would say that a final note would be that if you're looking for a change, try out the EPIC programs. I would say in a note to Caroline, I've left a note for her many times, she hasn't responded. That's okay, I know she's busy. She's a busy lady. I would say thank you. Her workout programs are free, and I know she puts her heart and soul into it. And I would say that she is a role model of mine. I know that she's a mom of 2, and I can just tell that she works very hard, and I know that she considers this a labor of love. I can really tell, and I really appreciate it. So many women do. Caroline, if you ever see this, we appreciate you. Thank you. Yeah, my final message to you is just know that you are worthy, you are beautiful, and you do not have to be pregnant to do this workout. No, not at all. I just did it because I needed to have that stability in my life during my pregnancy, because pregnancy isn't easy. People will tell you that you're supposed to be glowing all the time, and I will tell you that I have not been glowing all the time. It has been very challenging for me, but it has been a beautiful journey, a roller coaster of a journey, and I'm really glad that I was able to spend time with Caroline through essentially all of my pregnancy. So thank you Caroline for that, and also thank you to you for clicking on today's video. Please make sure on your way out the door that you just hit that little like button and think about subscribing. I mean, I know next week is probably going to be a murder mystery, so it's a little different, but hey, you may like it. If you don't, then just mute the murder mystery and do the workout. Who knows? You could have fun. And leave me a comment. Which EPIC programs have you done? Which ones were your favorite? Which ones weren't your favorite? Was there a particular day in EPIC Endgame or EPIC 1 or 2 or 3 or EPIC Heat that you still remember to this day? Then yeah, let me know. I'd love to hear it. You are beautiful. Thank you so much for being you. Be punctilious about your safety. Hug the ones that you love. And I will see you in the next one. Ta-ta!